Good evening all. Welcome to the third episode of Grand B.Tech Admission Far 2022. The Directorate of Admissions and Academic Outreach proudly presents before you the Grand B.Tech Admission Far 2022. This fair is a 6-day series that will equip the higher secondary students with all the information about Amrita Vidyapeetham. So we will also clarify each student's career-related queries and doubts. Today we will discuss about value-based education. Nelson Mandela once said that education is the most powerful weapon through which you can change the world. So every parent wish is to provide a better education to their students, to their children, which is not just confined to book. It should be more than that. So all-round development of the students give more edge with their peers in the current scenario. Today, Amrita's main motto is to give students education for life and education for living. Today, we will get to know more about the value-based education from our esteemed guest of honor, Dr. Balakrishnan Shankar, who currently serves as the Dean of this Amrita School of Engineering, Amritapuri campus. He also serves as the Professor, Head of the Department, and the Chairperson at the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Amrita School of Engineering, Amritapuri. His research interest includes material sciences, and he receives his PhD from University of Texas, USA. Balakrishnan sir, good evening. Now the stage is yours. Students are eagerly waiting to know much about from you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all. I was asked to talk to you a little bit about the value-based education and what is so unique about Amrita and what is different about Amrita. When we say value-based education, what is it that we want to do? So Amrita was, as you know, founded by Amma. It's a world-renowned humanitarian and spiritual leader. And her philosophy of compassion has percolated down into all that we do in the research that we do. At Amrita, you will find something very unique. You will find that you are involved in projects and research and activities starting from day one. We have undergrad students publishing papers in peer-reviewed journals, which are as famous journals as Nature and Science, which is one of the world's best journals that we can find. So what is it that it means when we say compassion, the percolation of Amma's philosophy into our daily activities? What is it that we mean is when we say compassion-driven research or compassion-based research is that this 99% of all the research that is done at Amrita, okay, is towards trying to solve some common man's problems. So in fact, if you think about it, you may have known that, Amrita is ranking the number one private university in India. We had the NIRF 5th rank last year, 2 years ago, 4th rank. Recently, we were accredited A++ by NAC, which is the highest ever accreditation. We are also noted by the MHRD as an Institute of Eminence, nominated as Institute of Eminence. In NIRF, we have 5th. We are the 5th, as I already told you. In the Times Higher Education and Social Impact, we come in the top 100 universities across the world. In millennial universities, we come in the top 50 across the world. Now, what does this mean? All this is very impressive statistics. But there is one important thing that this statistic does not show. For example, when we say IISc is number one or some IITs are ahead, what this statistic does not show is the time that it has taken. IISc has been around for, more than 100 years. The IITs and other institutes for 50, 60 years. We've been around for 20 years. So what that means is that when we say that Amrita is India's top ranking university, private university, or NIRF 5th rank, or top 100 in the world in social impact, what the statistic does not show is the time that it has taken to attain this. When we say in a brief span of 20 years, we've achieved all this, it shows an incredible growth rate, an incredible ramp rate at Amrita. Every academician, professor, every person from industry has asked me this question: how does Amrita grow so fast? Amrita grows fast because we have a mission. We have a very specific mission and a vision. See, Swami Vivekananda used to say that if a man with an ideal makes 1,000 mistakes, a man without an ideal will make 10,000. Basically, what it means is if you know where you're going, even if you stumble and fall, you can pick yourself up and continue to walk in the same direction. But if you don't know where you're going, you will meander around hopelessly and not go anywhere. So Amrita knows where it is going. We have a specific goal. We have a specific mission. We have a specific reason why we were created. What is Amrita's vision? It's very simple. I tell you, we want to solve the world's problems. We want to find cost-effective solutions for the common man's problems. Now, this may sound like a very big deal. It is. It is a very big deal, but exactly what we want to do. That is why you will find that most of the research done at Amrita, all the research done at Amrita, 99% of the research done at Amrita is towards a common, towards a societal problem, towards trying to solve the common man's problems. So whether it is in the area of, let us say, medicine, health, cancer research, new materials, smart energy, advanced materials, wireless networks, robotics for the elderly, smart vehicles, smart energy, renewable energy, in artificial intelligence, in modeling, simulation of human systems, in deep learning, in machine learning, in all these things that you see, you will find that there is a society's problem, a common man's problem that we are trying to address and solve and get a cost-effective solution for that. So that is a leading value at Amrita, is compassion-based research. So what is so exciting about it is students right from the first year, even as undergrads, you will be involved in these kinds of projects, exciting projects outside your curriculum, over and above what the curriculum says. So recently, the parent organization adopted about 108 villages across the country where it is working towards the sustainable development for those villages. And so students also participate in this program, and it has now become known as a humongously famous Live-in Labs program, where students actually go in their spare time, or as an elective, you take up that elective, you go in the vacation to the village, you identify what is the problem in that village, you come back and work on a deployable, work on a cost-effective solution, and you go there and deploy it. So that is called Live-in Labs, and that has become internationally famous and attracted students from all over the world. Now, as an example, we have students, for example, there was a village in Wayanad in North Kerala, which had no electricity since time immemorial. But our students in Amrita, we went there with faculty and research staff, literally climbed up 2 hills with solar panels on our backs, installed solar panels, set up a solar microgrid, and now that village has electricity for the first time in history. Similarly, in that village, the people used to make a living by selling lemongrass oil. But the government made a rule against logging. So they could not cut the firewood and could not boil the lemongrass oil. So our students, along with our chemical engineering students, management students, and other engineering students together at this village, they set up a lemongrass distillation unit based on solar energy. And now what happens is the villagers can distill the lemongrass oil, they sell it, they can make a decent living. At the same time, our students get an experience of deploying a real-time solution there. This is just one of the examples of the kind of exciting projects that we can do. I have researchers, I have students, for example, working in engineering. Another important thing in Amrita is we have different faculty from different disciplines coming together. So I have students in engineering working along with researchers and faculty in medicine, for example, to find out new materials for bioimplants, to model the flow of blood flow in the arteries, or to find out, or in fact, there was a research done to embed a polymer chip, and embed a chip in the brain that releases medicines that kills cancer cells in case of brain cancer. So one problem with brain cancer is that the chemo doesn't work. Traditional chemotherapy doesn't work because the medicines do not cross the blood-brain barrier. So researchers at Amrita found out a chip which can be impregnated in the brain, and the time releases medicines that kills the cancer cells. Now, does this require? It requires engineering, it requires biology, it requires material science, it requires disciplines of all things to putting together. So that's that value add when you are on these kinds of projects that actually solve the common man's problems. That gives you a tremendous value add as a student at Amrita. So at Amrita, we want our students not only to be great engineers or doctors or lawyers or scientists, but we want them to be great human beings who will go out and serve society and make India and this world a better place to be. Just an example, I will give you one more example, and to give you a quick idea, what is it that we do that makes us so unique. See, when the Center for Wireless Networks started here, this was the first funding that we got from the European Commission several years ago to start a wireless network center. So the director and the vice chancellor went to our chancellor, Amma, who told we got this funding for starting this wireless center, and so we will start a wireless center for landslide detection. Then Amma asked, so what will your center do? They said, oh, we will have, students, we will give them M.Tech in wireless, and then they will publish papers and they will get degrees. So Amma said, if that is the case, please return the money. And these people are very surprised. How come? Because of the first funding that Amrita was getting from from the European Commission, and Amma is saying, return the money. So Amma said, the chance to save lives comes very rarely to a person. So since you have this landslide detection, wireless networks for landslide detection is what the funding you got for is. Identify a village where landslides happen. Go and deploy your systems and save lives. If you can do that, accept the money, otherwise don't. So you see, the accountability when you work for a saint is very high. You just don't do some project and just leave it. You go all the way and make sure it benefits society. So that's exactly what we did. We identified we identified a landslide prone area in Munnar, North Kerala, and our wireless team went there. We buried sensors deep under the soil. We have sensors buried deep under the soil, the networks, and the data, the wireless data about, the pore pressure, soil, various geological parameters, humidity, etc., are transmitted wirelessly to our center here. And we are able to predict the landslides. We evacuated the villages twice, and we have saved lives. So you see, this is actual research, cutting edge technology deployed at the ground level. And that is value. And that is the value that we stand for, is service to society through science, service to society through our research. So Amrita, you will find researchers and scientists and academicians from all over the world, from top universities, having come together and working on real life problems and solving people's problems. For example, our students work with them, and that makes it that much more exciting, because by the time they finish their B.Tech, they've already been in a couple of projects. Some of them have gone to villages and deployed solutions. They've published papers in international peer-reviewed journals, and they get a chance because of this project and this thing to go abroad even for the B.Tech project, to get international recognition. But more importantly for Amrita, equally importantly, is the students learn compassion. They learn the values and realities of life. When they go to the villages and come back, they tell us they learned more about life than ever before. And they come back much deeper, richer human beings. And so this is the combination that Amma really wants. Great scientists and great engineers, but at the same time, great human beings. And that's when we have that combination, then people will go out into the world and make this world a better place to live in. That is what Amrita was really formed for. We are very idealistic that way. Yes, we live for this noble ideals. So another example I can tell you is when, as part of our women empowerment project, the Amrita set up a center for, computer human interaction, where we are using, haptic tools, that is force feedback, robotic devices that give us force feedback. And using these robotic haptic devices, we train women in, plumbing and carpentry and different machining skills. Basically, a haptic device is a robotic device. For example, if you're cutting a pipe on the screen, you're simulating cutting a pipe. On the screen, if you change the material of the pipe, say from mild steel to PVC or something, immediately the force that you feel will be different in this device. It's a force feedback. So I can train one person cutting various kinds of pipes using one tool. Like that, I can train people on machining. I can use one tool and train people on different skills. So this is advanced robotics, this is advanced haptics, but at the same time, we are using that to train women in plumbing and other skills as a part of women empowerment project. In fact, there is a village in Kerala where all all the plumbers are women. We train thousands of women in plumbing and other skills. But look at the technology involved. It is haptic technology, robotic technology. So the United Nations was so impressed with this. It said that of all the projects in the world, this is the one they were most impressed with, because we train thousands of women who are impoverished, otherwise don't have a method to live on these. We had a mobile vocational education unit that actually went from village to village and trained students and trained women on that. So what happens? United Nations was so impressed with this project, and it said of all the projects, one they're most proud of, and they wanted to take this across the world. And now this technology they're trying to use to train Syrian refugees in Egypt. So you see, as these are the kinds of projects that we do, which combine high-end technology with ground reality and try to change the common man's life. So you as a B.Tech student, what is it for you? You will be exposed to high technology, high-end cutting-edge research. At the same time, you will be given an opportunity to take part in these projects where you can deploy it in real time. What happens when a student does that? His resume is that much more better. He has done the same courses as anybody else. Your people in other places would have done the same courses. You've done the same exams or the same B.Tech degree as anybody else. But here, the difference is you've deployed it real time. You've solved real people's problems. You've proved yourself. You multitask with disciplines from across the campus, from across the university, across departments, across several disciplines. You publish papers on that. And so that makes you that much more employable. But more importantly, that makes a student that much more deeper, richer, the educational experience that much more deeper and richer, and the personality that much more deeper, research oriented, at the same time compassion oriented. So what happens is the end product is a student who is so completely, superbly equipped with the latest in curriculum, but at the same time with the right values to go out and serve society. So that is what Amrita is all about. That is why you will hear this word again and again in Amrita: value-based education, value-based education. We want our students to have the right values to go and serve society. So, so this is the value-based education that we talk about at Amrita. I gave you a few examples about the robotic surgery. In fact, there was in the AIMS hospital, which the Amrita has set up, the AIMS hospital, which is in Cochin, which is a world-famous hospital. And there, since its inception in 1998, the medical school is also part of that university and the AIMS hospital. AIMS hospital has treated at least 41 lakh people free of cost till now, from its inception in 1998. That's a tremendous service to society that Amrita is doing. And in fact, recently, there was an example. There was an auto rickshaw driver in Thrissur who could not drive his auto because he started getting epileptic fits. So in AIMS hospital, what they did is he underwent a surgery in which they embedded a chip in his brain that controls his epileptic seizures. Now he's able to drive the auto and lead a normal life. Now, any other place, hospital, this would have cost a person an operation like this, a procedure like this would cost in the US hundreds of thousands of dollars. In India, elsewhere, several lakhs of rupees. At Amrita, this auto rickshaw driver got it done free of cost, completely free, because he was poor. He had no other way to pay. But that is what Amrita is all about. We bring high technology, we go down to the ground reality, we take it down to the lowest rung of society, and we try to solve people's problems. And in the process, our students and staff and faculty not only become great researchers and problem solvers, they become great human beings who will go out and change this world. So that is the, what shall I say, the philosophy behind Amrita. And that is what makes Amrita that much more unique. So this is what I have to tell you about value-based education at Amrita. Please, you can come up and check our websites for further information. And there is, you can check out the various websites and further information we can give you when you contact us. Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir, for sharing this valuable insight with us regarding the value-based education which we are offering at Amrita. And it's our pleasure to have you here for this wonderful session.
Thank you.
Students, now let's from Mr. Sudhir, who is the Head Career Counselor at Directorate of Admissions and Academic Outreach. Amrita Vishwa, Coimbatore. He will share you all the information regarding chemical engineering, computer science and engineering. So before getting into the session, students, if you have any queries, you can just type it in our chat box. We will discuss it at the end of the session. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Sudhir to deliver this session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for those insights. Actually, a lot of students are wondering what Amrita is all about and what we do different today. I think you gave all the information required for all the engineering aspirants who are eagerly waiting to know about what we do once they enter into our college. I think it's a wonderful exposure students can get in our universities. So no other universities can provide these things, because here the research, the academics, the exposure all go hand in hand, because we design our curriculum in such a way that you will be getting all the required skills, all the required values. We will try to inculcate these things as you go along in your UG journey. So that's very wonderful said, wonderfully explained to us by our Balakrishnan sir. So thank you so much for giving your valuable time, and we hope we will see you soon again, sir. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
And,
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Students, now I will be giving you or sharing you brief insights about what is chemical engineering and what is computer science, engineering, artificial intelligence. And a lot of you are wondering about what I will learn from this branch, chemical engineering, and what is actually an artificial intelligence and all. So if any student who is present there, you can see a live chat option there. I will answer all your questions. Don't worry. So please keep posting your questions there. At the end of this session, I will be giving you more information regarding phase 2 or cutoff or whatever questions you have. I'll be answering them. So first, I want to tell you before going into chemical engineering. So how many of you know what the image which I am showing here on the left side? What is that image which I am showing? Anybody can type in the chat box. If anybody can type, what is the image that I am showing in the left hand side? So to your left hand side, you can see an image. What is that image? So anybody can type. And what is the image you see on the right side? The left side one is what? The right side one is what? So you see this left side one is an integrated circuit. As we see in our mobile phones or all the electronic instruments. The right side one is a silicon wafer. How these things are related to a chemical engineer, I'll give you an explanation. Because today you see the board on which these circuits are designed. I think Madhavan told it's a lithium battery and RAM and all. I'm not asking what circuit it is. I'm asking you, it's an integrated circuit. Maybe it's used in RAM or it's used in a mobile. I think Ashita microchip. I think Kshama message. It's a microchip. Yes. You keep on answering, because I just want to see, you just need to be eager. If you are really interested science student, you should know what this is. The left side one is an integrated circuit. The right side one is a silicon wafer. So the left side one, if we see that, we usually think a computer science engineer or electronics engineer designs these circuits. It's true, they designs these circuits. But the material on which they design the circuits is the right side one. It's the silicon wafer. Okay. So this silicon wafer is developed from a raw material by a chemical engineer. That means a chemical engineer today lays the foundation of all the electronic instruments which we use today. So you need to understand how important role a chemical engineer plays today. He gives this material, then only all this innovation of developing circuits will happen. If the material is proper, it will give more efficiency. The batteries which we see today, the circuits which we see today on all these devices, the raw material which is used in designing these things is given by a chemical engineer. So what actually is these things? Because we usually say when a bonding is happen, miracles happen. Okay, chemical engineering is a study of phenomena. At elemental level, we think only of reactions, but it's a lot more than that. So it's a multidisciplinary subject actually. And it involves raw materials also, or it involves food processing, it involves the chemicals, pharmaceuticals, lot of things are happening in this chemical engineering sector. So what is the actual scope of this chemical engineers? I'll give you an example. Okay, chemical engineer translate the processes or uh, multiply or scale up the processes which we see in lab to a huge plants. Okay, to convert the small applications or experiments into huge production designs, like production of plastics, medicine, detergent, fuels. These are produced in large scale, right? But before producing these things in large scale, first they will test it in a lab, then they will design these large plants to manufacture these things. Who designs these plants or reactors we see today are chemical engineers, which you need to understand. Before you pursue this course, you need to understand there is a huge scope which you don't know about chemical engineering people. Okay, and it involves in different sectors today. It's very important. It doesn't have any limitation. All the sectors it can touch. See, you see the left side, there is a person who is working on small minute material in a lab, but on the right side a person is working in a reactor. What happens? You can't use the same safety methods which you use in lab to a reactor. Who designs these reactors to withhold that pressure, withhold that heat, withhold that flow and all? So you need to understand chemical engineers does that. If you see big factories, we see like today detergent manufacturing or fuel processing and all these things which you don't understand. You see how we produce gasoline or petrol from crude oil. Who develop those reactors, processing units, are chemical engineers. So that's why you should understand chemical engineers are not only about mixing the chemicals and bringing you the final product. These people will create large scale factories, large scale reactors, large scale plants. So these people's hand will be there in whatever manufacturing industries which involves chemicals, like petroleum, there is a chemical engineer required, or in food processing, there is a chemical engineer required. So you need to understand there are various applications to this. So these are the opportunities a chemical engineer is currently having right now. So he can work in food, he can work in materials, he can work in plastics, power production, environmental control, waste management, and biotechnology. So these are some of the things, but other than this also, you can work in different departments also. You can work in processing, you can work in operations or manufacturing, you can work in design and construction, you can work in finance and teaching. So these kind of applications, you can work both in public and private sector. A lot of opportunities are there. You know, the people who earned more during this pandemic are the chemical engineers who are working in pharmaceutical companies. They develop these vaccines, drugs, which we use today because now everybody is health conscious. They want to make their health well, based on the circumstances which we are in. They want to use some medicine and they want to maintain their health well, so they want to take some medicine, consume some medicine. Who designs these medicines and drugs which we see today are chemical engineers. Okay, so these kind of opportunities are there. I'll give you some of the best companies that we see today who can hire these chemical engineers as Schlumberger. Oil corporation companies, oil corporation companies pay you huge money. Okay, these people are very big. You know, all our old economy is decided by these oil companies. These people control all the other market prices also. You see, if petrol prices increase, vegetable prices increase. If petrol prices increase, manufacturing costs will increase. So the end product which you see today also increase. So in this petroleum companies, petroleum processing or crude oil processing, we see the cooking oil, the hair oil, or we see the petrol, gasoline, kerosene. All these oils are processed by a chemical factory or refineries which are designed by chemical engineers. And these people can also work in IBM and Intel. People doesn't know that IBM and Intel are only for IT people or computer science people or electronics people, they used to think. But these people, chemical engineers, can work in these companies also. How they can do it? Based on manufacturing these semiconductor devices, the chips, the so-called chips we see today, which are used in manufacturing, these chips, like the chips which you see in mobile, laptops, or the raw material is provided by chemical engineers. Okay, so then what is your actual role as a chemical engineer will be? You can design and invent new chemical processes and product. You can construct, install, and supervise of manufacturing plants and equipment. You can plan industrial plant facilities and all. You can improve manufacturing process, and you can modernize high quality materials for industrial production, and you can get into food processing of agriculture products, cosmetics, mineral based industries and all. And you can provide safety measures for chemical industry work conditions, and you can get into research and developments also in the biotech firms. So these are the roles of a chemical engineer which we see today. What kind of courses you usually deal with? You can get into organic chemistry, you can get into chemical reactions engineering, or you will be learning all these things as part of your course curriculum as a chemical engineer. One more important thing which you need to understand: numerical methods. What does that mean? Maths is also an important part of chemical engineer. People usually make that conception: if I take chemical engineering, there won't be any maths. So there is a huge dose of calculus involved in chemical engineering also, which you need to understand. So do not think like, if I take chemical engineering, I had no need of learning any maths. There is differential and integral calculus. A lot of it is included in chemical engineering, which you need to understand. Okay, so this is the course structure or curriculum you will be getting as part of your course curriculum in chemical engineering. I hope at least you learned some basics, what a chemical engineering is all about, what it will be giving you as a person, what kind of skills you will be learning, and what kind of applications you have and all. So if you have any doubts regarding chemical engineering, keep posting your questions in there. At the end of this session, I will be looking at all your questions and I will be answering them. Okay. The next branch today we will be discussing about is computer science engineering. The specialization is artificial intelligence. I'll be telling you where these branches are offered in Amrita, what is the fee structure involved in these two branches which we are discussing today. What is this computer science artificial intelligence? A lot of people are talking about today. AI is the next big thing. Actually, it's a small subset of computer engineering. Actually, computer science engineering, people usually ask me questions like, a student asked me, what is the difference between CSE and CSE artificial intelligence? What I will learn. So usually whatever you learn in computer science engineering, you will be learning the same in CSE artificial intelligence also, but you will be given more in-depth knowledge of deep learning, machine learning algorithms, neural networking, natural language processing. You will be given more in-depth knowledge in this regard. As an artificial intelligence or specialization, if you pursue that, you will be learning more about the subjects which I have told you. Like, you'll be learning about deep learning, machine learning algorithms, neural networking, natural language processing and all. So these are some of the applications. But as you can see, why people are talking all about artificial intelligence today, what it is actually, where can we see the effect of this? I'll be giving you that brief also. How many sectors, how many careers you can have as an artificial engineering person. See, today you see every industry is trying to adapt this artificial intelligence. Actually, I can say India haven't even started yet. We are in the starting stages of in the scope of artificial intelligence. Still, we can see this many people talking about AI. We are still in the starting stage. Only few industries, as I can say, like IT or manufacturing or automobile, some of them only adapted this, but it can affect a lot more other sectors also. It's still unexplored. There is immense potential for artificial intelligence today, which you need to understand. There are a lot of technologies which can be improved with the help of AI. Okay, because new self-improving algorithms, machine learning, pattern recognition, big data, and many others. That's why there is a reason artificial intelligence has huge scope and potential in India, which you need to understand. So people usually think, is CSE better or is CSE artificial intelligence is better? I will say CSE artificial intelligence is better, because the application amount of applications is huge and you will be learning more in-depth knowledge about artificial intelligence, what kind of potential it has or what kind of job opportunities it has. Today you see worldwide there is a 74% growth annually, okay, in terms of job opportunities in AI segment. Okay, so you need to understand, if you really want to get into this, what skills you need to have. The main skill, if you need to have, if you really want to get into artificial intelligence, is you should be having good mathematical knowledge or numerical ability, what I can say. because all these algorithms, machine learning, big data, all this required you to have good, ample maths knowledge. It's not easy, and programming also required. Minimum, you should have one good programming language learned fully. Then only it's easy to understand all these things. I will give sector by sector how AI is making difference in each sector. Today, if you say, for example, if you say, if I take banking, you know, before we used to maintain these ledgers or physical books to write the accounts, the details, or maintain hard copies or printed copies and all, which become a monotonous and huge manual task. I don't know, you know, I can tell you one thing. I don't know how many people have visited banks these days, because all the banking became digital today. I last 2 years or 3 years, I never visited a bank, because all the banking is online. If I lost a password, I'll just put a mail, or I'll just raise a request. Please issue a new internet banking password. Please issue a new debit card. Please give me my account statement. Everything is happening online. What is the need of me going to a bank? So today, banking sector have adapted to technology very well, but it's still slow, but there will be huge increase. We don't know what will happen to the jobs. Today we see a lot of people getting hired by the banks as a manager, or a person, or a probationary officers and all. What will be the use of them going forward? Because now everybody is online. So maybe banking sector might become virtual in the coming days. We don't know, because of the technology adaptation only. Today this banking sector adaptation, like people using these digital platforms to transfer money, is happening only in metropolitan cities or decent cities. But because of the pandemic, now every village also is using this banking online. So people in villages also now know, they know what is Google Pay, what is Phone Pay. They are transferring money using that only. Okay, so that's why it reduces the fraud. Now you can transact your money very well, and you can get the customer support very well. Instead of standing in line and all, you can just send a mail and wait for it. They will reply back, and there is more to it, and it can be growing day by day also. Okay, and it's easy to track or keep a record. I can directly go online and see what are my transactions in the past month, how much I have spent on where. I can get it easily. Okay, instead of going to a bank, asking, say, standing in line, please give me the account statement for this month, I can get it in 1 second and by logging online. So these kind of things are happening in banking sector using AI. And the next big sector AI impact is healthcare and medicine. Because you see, today healthcare and medicine is one of the most invested, one of the most used segment or approach segment by people, by industry also. Why? Because people invest a lot of money in this healthcare and medicine. Okay, you see, if you see in healthcare and segment now, because of this pandemic we are in, so I'm just giving an example of pandemic, but before also there was huge research happening. But if you see, if we want to develop a vaccine, okay, we need to have data, how these people are behaving when we give a vaccine, because there will be trial and error method to develop a vaccine. It's not easy to just give him vaccine, he is cured or not. They will be doing thousands of samples or lakhs of samples. Based on that, they will come to the final product. So likewise, that data should be analyzed properly, and they can develop medicine for other diseases also. Suppose past cancer data, how these cancer people usually behave in the initial stages, in the later stages, in the ending stages. Based on that, they can diagnose the cancer. So this data manipulation and this data sciences healthcare can play a huge role going forward to come up with new medicine, new vaccinations, and can cure a lot of fatal diseases also to before reaching them higher stages. Because the best treatment we can get for anything, any disease is today, if we found out in a later stage, initial stage. But we don't know. If you see today cancer patients, the main problem is we can't find it in the initial stages. So how this initial stages, how this patient will be is there. So if we have that data, it's easy to cure it. Okay, that's the application of healthcare and medicine. And there are some examples also. There is a AI robot who found a cure for malaria also. And the next application of AI is business. I'll give a small example of how business can transform itself using AI. We have huge chunks of data. Suppose today all of the businesses are moving to online. You see any hotel, any restaurant, we have a website. Before going to that place, what we will be doing is we will be going typing about that website, reading the reviews. Even hospitals and all people now are reading Google reviews. Even if you want to purchase something in Amazon or Flipkart, what you will be doing, you will just search about the product, you will read the reviews, you will make an informed decision instead of randomly purchasing something or randomly visiting a restaurant, randomly visiting a shop. First thing is you will get to know what is available online about that particular thing. If today I think a lot of educated or a lot of people who knows about this, if the business is not on online, they won't even feel like going to that place, because they'll feel that's a small scale business. Today every business is adapting itself to have more presence online, because customers are requiring these kind of things. How, for example, I'll give an example. If you are searching to buy a smartphone, you'll go online and search for a smartphone, and automatically these people will throw you what are the best purchased smartphones in that price range. Automatically it will come. How it is happening? It's based on artificial intelligence. So businesses can have huge transformation in the coming days using AI. And the next one is education. You know how we adapted ourselves to the technology. We are listening to this. We are listening to these sessions online. You are getting education through a web platform. Likewise, AI will have more approach, more experiential approach in the coming days. Why I can say is because we are an young nation. I'm not saying we are an young nation means we are. It's not like we got the independence in 1947. We are a young nation because we have more people getting education, large youth population we have. So as a country which is having more youth population, it is necessary that all of you get quality education. Okay, so for this and all, so to cater the youth of India today, our country is also coming up with lot of Atal innovation missions and all, AI based modules and all, to help you aware of the things. Our education sector is also trying to make you understand what's the impact of AI. Even our government is trying to implement these things in school curriculums also. So which you need to understand. The scope of artificial intelligence is huge in various sectors and all. In finance sector, automated machine learning has helped understand people in finance sectors to predict the market falls, to invest in companies and all. Likewise, there are a lot of financial organizations use this AI tool to predict or to understand the data points of the markets, how they are behaving, how they are changing each day by day and all. Finance sector is have an application of AI. And HR, resource management. You see today, lot of people, HR means there is a lot of paperwork we used to think. No, a lot of things are getting automated. Okay, because you see, we do the calling now. Calling is becoming an IVR process or cloud process, and maintaining a record, maintaining an attendance, maintaining a payroll. So this can also be integrated in and decreasing the human efforts in HR sector also, because of the tedious schedules they are in. This can help them a lot. And agriculture. You know, agriculture, as a country like India, one of the main income resources of our country is agriculture. You need to understand how to get the proper returns of the investment we made in agriculture, based on what we cultivate and based on what kind of climate is going to come, what kind of crops you need to grow. All this can be happening based on AI, because it estimates when is the proper date to sow a seed. It estimates what are the resources required for these crops to grow. It estimates how much fertilizer you need to use for this crop, how much water needs to be, and how it can detect diseases, remove weeds. Lots of applications are there in agriculture, also using artificial intelligence. And the next one is manufacturing industries. Of course, all of you already saw some videos in YouTube how AI is manufacturing or packing or dispatching the things which we see today. You saw a lot of videos also how it analyzes yearly sales, how it predict what will be the demand in the coming days, what kind of supply you need to give. So these kind of things are also happening in manufacturing industries. And transportation, it has potential applications in transportations. You see all the autonomous cars we see today, autonomous cars in the sense self-driven cars by Tesla and all. These things need to have AI, because they need to understand what kind of road they are traveling on, what kind of obstacles that are coming, and they need to understand what route they need to take. It's a dynamic thing. It's a dynamic processor. It should be having. So these kind of applications are there in transportation also. AI, artificial intelligence applications. So what will be the actual career scope? There are huge job opportunities available for people if they are taking artificial intelligence. As a person, you are getting into computer science, artificial intelligence. You can become an AI engineer, or you can become an AI programmer, or machine learning engineer, or data scientist, or data analyst, AI architect, or deep learning engineer, or AI software engineer. There are a lot of roles you can get into once you get into this. So what will be the future actually you'll be having? It's not the question anymore actually. So as a changing world, ever changing world we live in, there are large volumes of data generated every day across several organizations. Even just take your phone, how many messages your phone is having on a particular day, and how many photos you are taking, or how much information you are sending to others. So huge data is transferring, huge data is getting stored online. So what will be happening with this, all this data, how we can extremely understand what a consumer behavior is, how we can come up with a lot of business ideas using this data which we have, how we can improve ourselves as a person also using this AI and all. So to give or define what is an actual AI means, I'll give an example. All of you use a smartphone. So the OS which we use in smartphones, or maybe KitKat, Android, or there are some chocolate names, or there are some versions, Android 11, Android 10, Android 9 and all. So to run your smartphone, there is an operating system required. Likewise, and to run your computers, there is an operating system required, like Windows, Linux, or other iOS or something. So likewise, for a robot to run, what OS it's required is artificial intelligence. That's a basic definition which I can put out there, so that you can understand. Because what main benefits of AI is, it can help you automate things. Today, lot of jobs which we can reduce based on AI. Today, if you see, your teachers are correcting your papers by pen and paper exams are happening. Maybe going forward, all your exams will be online, and all the submissions will be online. Paper checking will be instant, because we already gave the algorithm to correct the question paper based on the answers which we have. So it can be automated. 100% I can say going forward it will be automated. The paper correction, teachers won't have any role in that. You can just need to set their paper online. They need to give the question, answers online. So every school will adapt it. Every university will adapt it going forward. They will have. So who will create this infrastructure? People who are studying artificial intelligence right now. Okay, and speed, it can happen very fast. You see, to correct a paper, it will take your professor or your teacher need to take it home. They need to go there, spend a day, half a day time. So it requires a lot of human effort or human lift. So once this automation work, your question paper is online, means it's done. It's done in one day, or not even one day, instantly once you complete the exam. And accuracy, because compared to our human emotions or human errors based on the situations we are in, so we are prone to errors, but accuracy will be a main benefit of AI, because it reduces the chances of error. Because based on what scenarios we set, what algorithms we have given, so AI will behave accordingly. Main thing is exploration also is a benefit. Today, based on this AI, it reaches many unexplored places like volcanic sites, ocean beds, and all. It can survey a lot of scenarios where human can't go and collect information, and data collection and analysis. Because today, any business to survive, any company to survive, any universities to survive, they require the data. They require data analytics, and they need to analyze, extract useful information from it, then change the way they work, then come up with new solutions. The data collection and analysis should be adapted everywhere, who can do it? Artificial intelligence can do it. So these are some of the benefits and what applications you can see as of now in this today's world, which we are living in. We can see the applications of AI, which we tend to ignore. This is AI. You will be asking. So speech recognition, the so-called Alexa, which we see today in our home, it recognizes our speech and it replies back, or it gets you. It gets you what you required, what song, something, some information you require. Alexa is getting it, and natural language processing. Because today Alexa is understanding, Siri is understanding, or Google Assistant is understanding the language I am speaking, and they are giving you a reply. So this is happening through AI. It's natural language processing and image recognition. Today there are a lot of footages that are there, or facial recognition. They are giving you, putting you, I think, in the Snapchat wigs or faces. These things, how it is happening? We put funny faces using Snapchat and all these things. It's happening through AI. It's image recognition part of AI. And stock trading, business trading, market trading, and all, and robotics, which are the very most important another topic which you need to discuss about robotics. These are all the applications of AI which you need to understand. And jobs in AI, as I told you, you can get in lot of sectors. You can get it as a designer, you can get it as a consultant, you can get it as an engineer, you can get it as a trainer, you can get it as an expert. So there are a lot of jobs today available for you. As a person who is in one of the best universities in the country, I can say this can be one of the topmost in demand branches in our country today, because we don't know what kind of applications is going to come for this segment. In fact, researchers are trying to gain more insights how much effect it will have in various fields. Today we see only the effect is there in IT sector, but going forward it will affect all the sectors, and it will create a lot of jobs. It can decrease jobs also, which you need to understand. But as a person aspiring to become an engineer, so you should be aiming for this, one of the most in demand branch. And I hope at least you got a brief about artificial intelligence and chemical engineering. So I want to tell you where this is offered. Chemical engineering today is offered only in Coimbatore, and Coimbatore campus. You can pursue it if you really want chemical engineering. And if you really want to join computer science, artificial intelligence, it's offered in Amritapuri, Coimbatore, Bangalore, Chennai, and Amaravati. It's offered in all the branches which we have. Amaravati campus is a new branch which is going to come up in this academic year. So that branch also it's offered, which you can pursue this. And what will be the fee structure, you will be asking me. If you see, for a chemical engineering student, if you really want to pursue, you can join Coimbatore campus, but the fee will be varying from 1.25 lakhs to 4 lakhs. 4 lakhs is the non-scholarship fee. That means it's not dependent on the merit scores you are getting through AAA. It's a non-scholarship fee. A lot of students will call it as management quota also. That's the fee which you need to pay for non-scholarship and all. So this is the fee structure. It will be varying from 1.25 thousand, 25,000, 1 lakh 75,000, 2 lakh, 2 lakh 50,000. These are the fee structures based on your rank in AAA or JE or SAT or PUEEE. It will be varying. Okay, then the next branch, what will be the fee structure? You see, computer science, artificial intelligence is fee structure is, it varies from 1 lakh is in Chennai, that's the lowest price, but remaining all the branches, it's 1 lakh 25 is the starting price. And the highest fees you will be paying for computer science, artificial intelligence is 4 lakh 50,000. It is in Coimbatore. So this is the fee structure for computer science AI. Don't worry if you are unable to take this. You can get this information from our website also. There is an information handbook which you can download the fee structure from there. It's updated there. Okay, even if you are unable to understand, tomorrow our counselors will be available from 10 to 4. So you can again log into the same portal, click on live counseling. Our counselor will be there to help you understand. Now coming back to the actual part, all of you are asking, so guidelines for phase 2, how I can write phase 2 and all. So what is the process and all? And the main important question is, I wrote phase 1, when my results are going to come? I can tell you students, by 30th June evening, you will be getting the results. So phase 1 results, if any student who wants to post that question, please understand by 30th June evening, your results will come. We won't send any mail. We will announce your results in your application portal alone. By 30th evening, 7 p.m., you can just log into your portal and check your results there. So that is the way to check your results. And if any problem is there, you can call us on 31st morning. We will help you. Okay. And if you really want to attend phase 2 and you haven't applied now, until now you haven't applied. So you haven't applied for phase 1, you haven't applied for Amrita until now. You can straight away go pay the application fee before 25th and complete your application before 25th, because you will be eligible to write the final phase. AEEE phase 2 is the final phase. If you're really interested in Amrita, you need to write the phase 2, which is happening mostly on 29th July, and it will be continuing until 1st August. Okay. For those who are absent for phase 1, either you have submitted willingness or either you have booked the slot, mandatorily you need to pay rupees 600 to attend the phase 2. You did the willingness submission, but you did the slot booking, but you didn't attend the phase 2. What you need to do is you need to pay the 600 fee. When you can pay the 600 fee is by 30th evening only, that link will be activated in the portal, application portal. We are not sending any payment link. We are not sending any results mail. All the information about results, paying this 600 amount will be activated in the application portal only on 30th June evening, 7 p.m. So you can log in into application portal at that point of time and you can get your results. And if you are not satisfied with your results, you want to write it again, then the link will be there to pay the 600 amount, and you can pay that and you will be eligible to write phase 2. There is no willingness submission for phase 2. Whoever applied for phase 2 will be eligible to write the final exam. So that is what all about today. Today you learned about what is value-based education in Amrita, what is chemical engineering, what is computer science, artificial intelligence and all. So these are the things that makes our university one of the best in the country. So you need to understand the curriculum of the branches that are offered in Amrita. You need to understand what kind of ranking we have. You need to understand what kind of projects we will be making you work on. So let me just go through the questions you have posted, and I will just go through the questions which are posted. I think Nitya posted, if we apply for scholarship, but for any reason we don't get the scholarship, you can apply without scholarship. See, even if you apply for scholarship, you don't get it, you will be given a seat through regular fee. Don't worry, there is no separate application for scholarship and non-scholarship. And can you do dual degree in Amrita campus while studying engineering? No, it is not possible. But there is one information which I want to share with you students. There might be a minor course that will be coming up while if you are pursuing ECE, and your aim is to do artificial intelligence, we might give you a minor like artificial intelligence minor. That more details will be shared with you during after phase 2 results are announced. We will be sharing you, because a lot of students today are interested in pursuing other courses apart from the course that is allotted to you. So there is an option for you once you join Amrita to pursue a minor. So there are a lot of minor subjects which are available today, which I want to tell you. Suppose, for example, you get into ECE, so electronics and communication engineering, and you want to pursue other minor because you are very much interested in that minor course. You can pursue minor in computer engineering, or you can pursue minor in aerospace, or you can pursue minor in electric vehicles. These kind of options are there for students. There are there's a big list for each branch. What kind of minor you can pursue, it's there available in Amrita. Okay, then one more question I want to read. As I said, AI is new to the world. How the curriculum was designed for the students in Amrita, and what are the other branches in computer science available? There are quite a good branches available in Amrita, because computer science, artificial intelligence is only one branch. We have computer science cybersecurity, we have computer science traditional branch. So a lot of branches. Is CET score taken into consideration or only AEEE? As of now, we are taking only AEEE or JEE score. There is no CET is not allowed. The marks for 12th class, will it matter for the scholarship? No, we are not considering 12th class marks for scholarship. They will be only considered 12th class marks are only considered for eligibility criteria. Is Amrita College in Bangalore is affiliated to VTU or autonomous? We are an autonomous institution, so we are not affiliated to any university. So the degree which you get will have only Amrita University name. Okay, and we are a deemed to be university. So I have explained about the college fee also, and phase 2 exam begins, as I told you, on 29th. On July 29th, it will be beginning. So is there any other questions you have? I think I pretty much explained about everything, because today as an engineering aspirant, the main important thing you need to do before joining the course is getting all the information about the branch. You can't randomly make a career decision. So before joining it, first understand what you are getting into. So what kind of difficulties are there? What kind of course curriculum is there? What kind of faculty is there? What kind of life you'll have? So what kind of exposure you will have? All these things play a vital role, because I can suggest one thing, your parents will suggest one thing, your faculty will suggest one thing, but down the main important thing, or down the line, you are the person who are going to suffer or work hard or dedicate yourself for your academics for 4 years. So you need to understand about all the courses, explore all the branches, then only make an informed career decision. Don't do it randomly just because of your friend is taking only one group. I also want to pursue that group and all. So make it an informed career decision and do it with passion, not just random. Okay, I hope I have answered all the questions. I think is there any question which is missing? How to apply for phase 2? As I told you, phase 2 examination application is already active if you haven't written phase 1. But if you have written phase 1, please wait until 30th. You need to pay extra 600 to write phase 2. Okay, per annum the college fee was also explained yesterday. Also I have explained. And Amrita cutoff, there is no cutoff students for Amrita. We will come from top. So top 10% will need to pay slab 1, next top 20%. Likewise, the slabs will be varying based on the merit you have achieved. I think I have explained pretty much everything clearly. Tomorrow we will meet you again. We will discuss about industry collaborations from one of our dignitaries. He is a principal from Chennai campus. So we will be getting all the insights regarding our industry collaborations, how we will be collaborating or making you understand about the requirements of the industry, how we will be making you industry ready and all. So these things, these insights we will be getting tomorrow. And day after is the student exchange program in Amrita. Smita is asking me. Yes, there is a student exchange program. We explained this very well on the first day. I think, I don't know, all of you are aware of this and all. Student exchange program will have multiple phases. You can do your final year there, or you can do your last 2 years also there. Like 3 years you complete in Amrita, 2 years B.Tech plus MS. So these kind of opportunities are there on all the campuses. Student exchange program, we have a dedicated international offices there. Can we take the admission for phase 2 exam only? Yes. So main thing I want to tell you students is, today you have written phase 1, you have written phase 2. What will happen to the students is, we will be considering both the scores, or best percentile will be considered for ranking. Okay, the final result of all these things will be announced after phase 2 is completed. I think August 8th is the date which we will be starting the seat allotment process. We will be starting seat allotment process only after both the phases are completed. And your rank, how it's decided, is based on the best percentile which you have achieved in this both phases. Okay, so this is the way, basic way, and there is no part-time job you can do. I think Bashita is asking, can we do a part-time job while studying? No, it's not available in Amrita. And you won't have time, because as a student you need to get exposure to a lot of things, because it's not only about academics. You need to be playing, or you need to be participating in extracurricular activities, because as yesterday one of our principal told, there are a lot of clubs in Amrita. Either it's a playing a technical club or a cultural club. Be part of it, and be occupied, make yourself occupied in all these activities to learn a lot. Okay, so with this I will end this session. I hope all of you got the required information regarding the both branches which you are discussing today, and what value-based education in Amrita entirely means. And thank you for all of you for joining. With this, I will end this session, and then we will be meeting you tomorrow again with different topics and different dignitary to help you understand more about Amrita. Thank you.